Can he chop? No. Oh my god! Oh my god! The Case King! This is Addy. And if you stay around for long enough, you're going to find out why this guy is a very, very lucky man.
I was gonna fucking cry, bro.
The gods have picked you, brother. You're here for a reason still. Hey guys, and welcome back to Cash Out Before You Crash Out. Now, you might be surprised to see a poker player standing outside. The truth is, we do occasionally touch grass. Anyway, we've got a big session for you guys today. Now, fresh off the 1.2k views last video, I feel like we might be going viral, albeit very slowly. Addy and Faddy are joining us in the building all the way from Dubai, and given their past performance at the home game,
oh, he needs some milk.
It's fair to say they're out for revenge. So without further ado, let's jump into the action. But the first hand of this vlog doesn't even take place that night.
Oh, brother, wow.
After touching down in London and making it past security, these Dubai boys drop a plan. To go out and get But it's nothing a drink of water can't fix. And so, within an hour of leaving the bar, the boys are back on the felt at 4 a.m.
That would make you win today some money, bro.
Except he won't. Faddy's just slow rolling. And Addy, well, he's just lost 40 quid.
Take it, G.
With the big session in 2 days and having lost yet again, Addy could be forgiven for losing a little faith. But this man is delusional.
I hope this makes the fucking vlog. I'm gonna kill it tomorrow.
And finally, tomorrow's become tonight as we get into the first hand of the session. With the straddle onto 40p, the action folds round to Addy, who can't help but limp into the pot before Jasper then kickstarts the action and bumps it up to 150 with ace-queen off. Ademla makes the call, as does Faddy, before Acer, who's just picked up ace-10 of clubs in the big blind, also follows suit, to put the action back on Sam in the straddle.
Put the chips in, brother.
Aces in the hand, I gotta be involved.
This man was never folding.
You're getting good price, bro. Aces is
Three
Bro, plus your edge as well, but you got an edge, no?
Exactly.
5 ways to a flop they go then, that comes ace-9-9 rainbow to give both Acer and Jasper top pair and the other boys not a whole lot. On an ace-high board as static as this, the action quite predictably checks round to the pre-flop aggressor, at which point Jasper then takes his cue and fires out a C-bet of 5 quid. Ademla and Faddy are out of there quickly, but the same can't be said for Acer, who with top pair and the backdoor nut flush draw is of course going nowhere.
the old hungry horse, though.
Hungry horse would lay down, bro. Vlog's not good enough.
Addy makes the fold, and so the two go heads up to a turn that comes the 8 of clubs, which, whilst mostly considered a brick, does still keep alive the possibility of Ace's flush. Acer checks it over to Jasper once more, but this time he decides to check it back. And in doing so, he gives Acer a free river card that changes the hand entirely. Because Acer's just hit his flush. And having just hit the money card, Acer's not about to risk this one getting checked back. He knows he's got a bluffy rep, he knows Jasper never believes him, and so the obvious thing to do is to bet.
Bro, read the room. You don't ask him these questions, man.
And when you do ask him these questions, you get punished, as Addy has just found out. After Marcus and Faddy limp in, action folds round to Addy in the small blind, who, with King Queen of Diamonds, raises it up to 70p.
Hold on.
And it's immediately followed by Jasper putting down the hammer from the big blind, as he moves all in for just over 15 quid.
I am tempted, by the way.
But he's not the only one with an interest in this pot.
Marcus, 2 people are left to add, by the way.
He's begging he doesn't go.
Because after getting Jasper to count his stack out like a good boy, Marcus then shoves over the top for 55 quid. Faddy makes a quick fold before the action falls back on Addy, who, with about 15 quid behind in his own stack, now faces a decision.
In the face of a person who's about to cook,
I didn't.
I'm about to hold it.
Great odds though, I'm a gambling man. Right? I call.
With a suited Broadway and Tallins ahead of him, Addy's not wrong that he's getting a good price. There's a lot of money on the table already, and so it's probably fair to say he's got pot odds on his side. And not to mention, of course, help from above.
Triple up about to come.
Inshallah.
Wrong goal. Wrong goal.
Oh no.
So with Marcus the covering stack, we're going 3 ways to run out for a pot that's just shy of 50 quid. But before we do, we're turning them over. Jasper's the first to go and reveals pocket tens, which given his short stack size, kind of makes sense. As for Marcus, well...
Oh, that's not good for me.
Any two, bro. Any two.
But in poker, anything can happen. And so, with 3 plays in the pot and 50 quid up for grabs, we go to the run out. And it's payday for Addy as he flops trip queens and gets that triple.
Oh! Marcus got his 3 as well.
Can a man catch a break live, bro? Please. Alright.
But before he does, he's got one thing left to do.
I just want to show the vlog, not anyone else. Wait, you'll see.
I found.
With the stack size that just about covers Jasper, Addy's still got a tiny bit behind. And after being convinced by Ace says just go all in with it next hand, he's decided to delay his rebuy and wakes up with pocket jacks.
Kill me now, please. Kill me now.
Why didn't you read mine?
Because this fucker told me to shove all in next hand, bro.
Daddy, chill.
With over half the table going to a flop, Addy can only sit back and pray that his jacks hold and that he takes home that mighty £6 pot. But as chips continue to fly into the pot as the hand progresses, the chance of jacks being good looks pretty slim. Until now.
Fill it up for me, bro.
Yep, that was my bad. But if I'm to apologise, then so too should Marcus. Because after pushing the rest of the boys out the hand with his bet of £6.50,
Addy's definitely taking the side pot, bro. Addy takes the side pot.
Marcus turns over ace-3 of clubs for the stone cold nuts to curse Addy yet again.
Can't catch a break.
No way you...
Oh my god, he's got a fucking
He backed on the... Fuck, he fucking rivers top.
Hand the camera off, bro.
The next hand of interest sees us bother not Addy, but the other Dubai boy.
Hello there.
Where's blinking the camera?
That's so big.
After making the solver-approved squeeze from the big blind with King 6 suited, we go heads up to a flop with Faddy. Naturally, out of position with a hand like this, we'd have much rather taken it down pre. But when the flop comes King King 2 rainbow to give us trips, that feeling soon changes. And so we now turn our attention to how best get Faddy's money.
3.
One of them's gonna win this hand. Well, downside.
Whilst Addy may not have approved of our small C-bet, we decide to lead out for just 3 quid in order to keep Faddy's air in. On a board as static and dry as this, he's unlikely to have connected a whole lot. And so by betting small, we're hoping to keep in some ace highs and some pocket pairs. And possibly even some backdoor draws. Faddy makes the call, and so we go to a turn that comes the 10 of diamonds. Which, aside from improving pocket tens to a full house, doesn't really change a whole lot. Usually, I'd keep barreling on this card in the hope that non-believing pocket pairs would keep cooling. But against this guy, my approach is a little different. For one, this man used to love to punt off.
Cool.
Oh my god.
And 2, he intends to keep doing it. So with all that being said, we decide to check it over to Faddy, and bingo. He bites at the opportunity and fires out a bet of 10 quid, at which point, after a performative tank, we make the call. And go to a river that comes the 9 of clubs. Whilst it does bring in the Queen Jack straight, we can't be scared of monsters under the bed. And so, for that reason, our plan hasn't really changed. Check it over to Faddy, hope he bluffs, and snap him off. Bish, bash,
Cool.
bash. And having just picked up an almost 3-figure pot, it's hard not to feel invincible. But if there's one hand that's going to make you second guess that conclusion, it's this one.
Kill me now, please. Kill me now.
And we know how that one ended.
How much?
San Miguel, like, I put on the 320 strike.
All in.
To save us any post-flop headaches, we decide to take a leaf out of Addy's book and ship it all in. On the face of it, this might seem pretty stupid given how deep we are after winning that big pot. Except we no longer have that big pot because of some degen PLO. So with the stack size amounting to about 25 quid, we decide to rip it and hopefully take down the straddles. Everyone folds, except, predictably, this guy.
Yeah, you can say it. Oh my god.
Oh no. Yeah, it's like the last thing I wanted to see. How much is it? You're already pot committed.
I'm not quite sure about that last comment from Alex, because having put in just 3 quid, Asa is definitely not pot committed. But having woken up with king queen off in the quadruple straddle, he feels like it's good enough.
First bullet doesn't count.
That's free then.
Cool.
And just like that, after mental gymnastics from Dumb and Dumber, I find myself flipping for a 50 quid pot.
Once or twice?
Twice.
One time, dealer, one time. Addy, you better not fuck me over, bro.
Sir, yes, sir! Oh no, this is not good for me.
Imagine how I feel.
Yes! Come on! Hold that! Oh my god, yes!
What the fuck are you doing? No, one fucking job.
No, nice hand, nice hand.
A gracious winner is someone who handles victory with humility, courtesy, and respect.
And thank God we managed to shut this guy up soon after.
It's not ideal, to be honest.
As Asa hopes to make lightning strike twice and calls off our 4-bet shove with king queen suited. Except this time, we don't have jacks. Run out comes clean, we double up, and Asa goes back in his box.
Hold that.
But if you thought this rivalry was over, then think again. Because this guy's back for more.
Blind call.
After action folds round to Fatty in the small blind, he limps in before Asa also limps in. At which point we look down at ace-7 off in the straddle. With a raggedy ace against such passive action, I would sometimes squeeze here to try take it down pre. But against this man, I'm less inclined. And here's why. After being unlucky enough to grow up with this guy, he knows me pretty well. And as part of this, he knows that when given the opportunity, I'm gonna squeeze, especially against limpers. And because he knows this, he started to exploit it by limping in with strong hands and then raising when I bite. So we check and go 3 ways to a flop that comes ace-9-10 two-tone to give us top pair with a mid-kicker.
All blind. Blind, one of blind.
Action checks through to us, and with top pair on a pretty wet board, we of course have to bet.
Overbet, bro.
Fatty gets out the way while Asa makes the call that sees us go heads up to a turn that comes the blank 5 of diamonds. Once more, Asa checks it over to us, but on this occasion, we decide to check back. Our hand probably isn't strong enough for 3 streets of value, and so it doesn't feel like a bad idea to pot control. Now you might be wondering how this hand has made the vlog, given right now the pot's only 5 quid. But very soon, that'll change. Having missed out on value on the turn, we can't possibly be doing the same again, and so when Asa checks it over to us once more, we do our best to eke out a little more from him with a small bet of 3 quid. But after taking a bit of time between what I suspect to be a call or a fold, Asa picks option C. Can this guy just ever give it a rest? After playing the hand so passively, both pre-flop, flop, and the turn, Ace has now sprung into life and check raises to 20 quid. And against a size like this, our hand of course becomes no more than a bluff catcher. And whilst he is capable of making this kind of play for value, I just don't understand what he's trying to rep, and so for that reason, I flick in the call.
Cool. Probably good. Do you have an ace?
Yeah.
After we make the call, Asa shows pocket kings for a slow play gone wrong. He tried to get tricky with it pre, and when the board ran out bad for him, he tried to bluff.
Don't fucking play around with me, bro.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay.
Okay?
Are you?
Absolutely.
But this guy is that guy. Or at least he is when it comes to this game.
I've never seen him lose a hand.
As a man who has pretty much reached immortality in 5-card PLO, it's not a surprise that Marcus decides to pick it when we play dealer's choice. But he's yet to play it against Addy, and this guy's picked up quite the hand.
Bro, just donate to Ace of 5 quid, bro. What the fuck's going on?
With middle set on the bottom board and a straight draw to go with it, Fatty leads out for 5 quid. Sam makes the call, but Addy, along with the rest of the boys, is done with this hand.
See, they all get there, but not really. Fold.
Oh, and Marcus is in there too, as per.
Well, you just knew that was going to happen. That was going to happen.
No burn, no burn.
3 ways to a turn they go then, that doesn't change a whole lot. 3 of diamonds on the top board is pretty much a brick, and whilst a 6 of clubs on the bottom does bring in the 7-9 straight, Fatty's 10s still look pretty solid. Not to mention, he still has outs to a higher straight with his Queen-9 double gutter. But this time, action checks through to Marcus, who takes over the betting lead from Fatty and fires out for 9 quid.
Yeah. 9.
the goat of this game, I swear to God. Never lost a hand, bro.
My perception of him is smoke and mirrors, bro.
Facing a £9 bet with a stack of just over 25, Faddy's in a bit of a weird spot. If he just calls the £9, he's pretty much priced in to call any river. But folding second set when 2 kings were already out there, and with the straight draw to go with it, is not a particularly appealing option either. Then again, he does have the square root of nothing on the top board, and so at best, he's gonna chop.
Right, what's happening? I don't believe that for a minute. I've seen this guy 3 years at uni, bro. Did not think a single thought.
So the fish goes all in and prays for a chop.
Wow. Okay.
It's a lot of money in that.
Sam's immediately out of there, but not Marcus, who snaps Faddy off to leave him very quickly second-guessing his decision.
Which board is your board? Don't say board.
Of course it's both. It's always both.
Straight? Wow, I cannot believe that.
Got fucking set kings.
There's 2 kings and he has the remaining 2. I have a set as well.
You have flush draw on any of them? Please tell me.
But he doesn't, and despite Addy's best efforts,
What set do you have? I'm pulling it out.
Bro's a magician.
Faddy can't find any improvement, which sees Marcus scoop a PLO pot yet again.
Bro, shake his hand, bro. He really exists.
But after taking Faddy out the picture, there's still more work to be done. Because the other Dubai boy is still alive.
Facial recognition got a hit.
And there's only one man capable of taking him out.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
After Marcus and Faddy limping, Asa opens up the action to £2. And it's the kind of price that should have us folding our hand, but jacking off at the poker table can never be a bad idea.
Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
So we make what is a pretty loose call and almost instantly regret it.
750.
No way you've woken up with a hand, bro.
And yes, he is absolutely woken up with a hand. As Addy 3-bets to 750, having looked down at pocket kings on the button.
The economy is now on.
But Marcus has picked up pocket aces.
Let's not take the piss here. I certainly wasn't. Well, I think you are.
Yep, this night seems to be going from bad to worse for Addy as he runs into the classic poker cooler. But whilst you might expect the 2 strongest hands in the game to just get it all in pre, Marcus has other ideas. Instead of making the standard 4-bet, he decides this time to trap and just calls the 750.
How much is it? Cool.
Marcus is in as well. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I know that I'm up against any 2 anyway, bro.
And it's a fantastic read from me as I follow up my minus EV call for £2 with another one for 750.
More than you believe, I'm happy.
You aren't showing it.
I'm so happy, believe me. I'm so happy. Happy New Year.
Whilst King Jack off in a 3-bet pot does feel like bringing a spoon to a gunfight, we're here now, and so go 3 ways to a flop that comes 9-2-6 with 2 spades. In other words, we've just spewed 750 down the toilet. As expected, Marcus continues to slow play and checks it over to me. But in what should come as a seismic shock, King Jack off is no good, so we check 2, ready to be done with it.
10.
Having managed to avoid the dreaded ace, Addy's king is looking pretty good on this board, and so for that reason, he decides to fire out a C-bet of £10.
All of it.
And soon after, Marcus drops the slow play gimmick and moves all in for an effective stack size of £42.
Bro, I literally cannot fold. I have a set.
Oh yeah.
Marcus makes a fantastic read as we of course get out of the way to put the action back on Addy, who is facing a gross spot. As played, Addy's losing to a very, very narrow range. For one, there's no viable 2 pairs that are going to be calling 750 pre. And of the possible sets, the same could be said for pocket 2s and 6s, which would likely be folded pre a fair bit of the time. But on top of the narrow value range he loses to, is the pretty wide bluffing range. On a board as wet as this, Marcus could be shoving with a lot of draws, not to mention value hands like 10s and jacks that Addy actually beats. And so whilst he's not loving it, he realises he can't fold.
Fuck, I really don't have 9s, I really don't have 9s. I have to call, but I really hope you don't have 9s. I called 9s?
Cool. I don't have 9s, I think I'm still good.
6s? Oh my god.
Oh my...
Rough day at the office. Addy gets shown the bad news that his kings are no good, and so is left to pray for a miracle run out.
Kings v aces, what the... Once or twice.
A run it once man by heart, Marcus would usually never allow this. But given the caller, he finds it within himself to offer 2 runouts. And so Addy now has 4 cards to hit that miracle set.
Yeah, I think he's dead. Because there's already... Kings have already been folded, bro.
The first runout can't help him, and it looks like the same for the second.
Can he chop? No.
Bingo.
Oh my god! Oh my god! The Case King!
Despite there being just 1 king left in the deck, Addy manages to cheat death and hits it on the second river. It's barely been 10 minutes since that last hand when we find ourselves in a crazy pot against a Demoler.
Oh my fucking god. Brother in Christ.
After peeling ace queen of clubs in the small blind, we see Jasper open to 70p before a Demoler then comes over the top and 3 bets to 250. Action then folds over to me, and with ace queen suited, I feel like both a call and raise are on the table. But given a Demoler's just 3-bet against Jasper, despite him being under the gun, it would suggest his range is pretty strong. And whilst our hand might look nice, its actual value dries up pretty quickly against such a range. So for that reason, we decide to not bloat this pot any further and just make the call. Addy folds in the big blind before Jasper, who just opened under the gun and therefore should have a pretty strong hand, now makes the fold.
I'm out.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Jeez.
So with Jasper out the picture, we go heads up to a flop with a Demoler that comes about as action as it can get.
That is a flop and a half.
And aces, not wrong. Queen Ace King Rainbow hits the 3-bet ranges about as much as possible, as exhibited by us flopping 2-pair. But whilst that is good, it connects with the Demoler's range even better, who could have flopped any one of the 3 possible sets. And before you mention blockers...
Fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
So we check it over to a Demoler, who predictably fires out a small C-bet of 2 quid. And against this size, we once again have the same dilemma as pre-flop, where both calling and raising feel like good options. Sure, if we raise, we will get some top pairs to call us. But at the same time, in just calling, we keep a Demoler's air in, and can also play a bit of pot control against his range advantage as the pre-flop aggressor. So we make the call and see the Jack of Clubs roll off on the turn. And it's the kind of card I'm not sure what to make of. We're now behind Pocket Jacks too, but to be fair, I'm not sure how much a Demoler bets that hand on the flop. I do, of course, now also lose to any 10, but given the way the hand's played out, I feel like I can discount that from a Demoler's range pretty heavily. So, with all that in mind, I settle on a small bet of 2 quid. Looking back on it, I'm not entirely in love with this play, but my thinking at the time was that it would achieve a few things. Whilst ace queen at this point is a pretty marginal hand, it's definitely strong enough to be worth more than 990. But given the sketchy board, I feel like any ace that we beat is not going to keep betting. It should, however, call a small bet such as this, and so we can get thin value this way. Not to mention, of course, the value we can get from worse 2 pairs. Anyway, a Demoler makes the call, and we go to the river. And after dealing a river like that, he doesn't need to ask twice.
Let's fucking do it. Let's do it.
If we thought we might have been behind on the turn, those fears have been pretty much put to bed now. Because after being behind sets, straights, and a better 2-pair, we've now got the second nuts. Given the relatively passive action so far, I feel like a Demoler could have anything from King-Queen to King's-Fool. And yes, he could also have Ace-King pretty feasibly, but if he does, we'll just have to firm it.
I think she's doing... She didn't get any... No, she's not work. She missed the deadline for the actual services job, so...
Ultimately, we decide to fire out a big overbet of 30 quid, with the idea being that we want to target top of range. Now, of course, against a size like this, hands like King, Queen, King, Jack, and even possibly straights and trips are going to fold. But if a Demoler had a set or Ace Jack that is now boated up, he's going to have a tough time making the laydown. And it's these hands we're trying to target.
Hi, cool.
Boom.
Queens.
Oh my god, I do beat him. Fucking hell, that is such a cooler. Oh my god.
Yeah, not much else to say here aside from...
Show me the money.
Just look at this, I think I'm taking too long. Spot for a Glock. I took a loss over floss, but still got a knock. Money! I'm not proud, Jerry. Does that make you feel good just to say that?
Brutal game, bro. It's a fucking brutal game.
I need the 30 as well, bro.
Don't know why he's being cheeky. Why is he being cheeky?
It's about 5 AM at this point and the session's finally drawing to a close. Marcus is off to bed after cashing out for a healthy 150 profit, and Sam and Alex, having played about 5 hands between them this entire night, have left for some alone time. Maybe we'll finally see some action. But even if we don't, we're definitely going to see some action in this hand. With 5 players left and about 1 billion beers seen off at this point, we're basically playing any two. And it's for that reason that Queen 10 off feels more than good enough to open with.
£5, yep.
But it doesn't feel quite as good now, as Fatty 3-bets from the small blind to 5 quid with ace king.
20.
And aces also got a hand, as he wakes up with pocket queens in the big blind. We, of course, get out the way with our trash to put the action back on Fatty, who, with effective stacks at about 140 quid, faces an interesting decision against this 4-bet. Typically, if stacks were shallower, ace-king off would of course be a shove. But when stacks are this deep, a 7x 5-bet all-in feels a little wild. These boys are by far the biggest stacks at the table and are each up at least 70 quid. And so to put that all at risk for what would, if called, at best be a flip, is the kind of play only a madman would make. But Fatty is that madman.
Oh shit.
How much?
Bro, it's basically your stack, bro.
He does, bro. He has like 100 quid.
Bro, he's got all of that. It's all in.
Cool.
What the hell is going on?
Oh my god. Once or twice?
Call me an idiot all you want, but for Ace to snap off a 700 big blind 5-bet with pocket queens feels crazy. But to be fair to him, in this instance, he is ahead, and of course, it's great content.
Bro, this is gonna be big. This is huge.
Oh my god.
So with almost 300 quid in the middle, and by far the biggest pot we've had in the home game, we're gonna go to 2 runouts.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And round 1 goes to Acer as he hits a straight on the turn to lock up half this pot. But with no ace or king having been burned, Fatty's chances of chopping are still very much alive. Until they're not.
Shit. Fuck, count it up.
And just like that, on what is effectively a coin flip, Acer adds 136 quid to his stack.
Bro, house always wins, man. I'm telling you.
Not even one of them as well. That's big, that's big. So you should win one.
It's flipping time.
Let's run it, baby!
Just because poker's finished, it doesn't mean gambling is. And after a tough session on the felt, Addy finds himself down over 3 figures. But no gamble, no future. And so Addy feels that if he's to put a dent in those losses, he's gonna have to roll the dice, even if he's not entirely convinced.
Wait, hold up.
Are you doing your heads up?
I'm down 120.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to be down 100. It's not any better.
But being down 140 is worse.
Gamble. 20. 20. How have I been denied to be playing this hand, bro?
With Fatty and Gambling XL, Addy's 7-3 off goes heads up to a pot of 40 quid against Ace's pocket 4s. And it's the quickest 20 quid Ace has ever won.
I'm happy you lost, bro. I want to play.
3-7 off? Bro. Pray harder, bro.
So it's out with the old and in with the new. As Fatty now volunteers to run another flip against Acer, but this time for 50 quid.
If he hits another set, I'll actually cry. Oh.
The quickest 50 quid he's ever made in his life. You cannot write this shit.
But you can record it and upload it to YouTube. And so as Marcus and Acer each score big 3-figure wins at the home game, the Dubai boys get sent packing back to Gatwick as their search for a win on the channel goes on.
Just imagine, after all of this chat, Addy and I end up both being up the most out of everyone. I am going to shit on you and your YouTube channel.